Greetings, fellow film fans. Thanks for tuning in. My name is Mercy, and this is the Funny Pajamas YouTube channel. So, the penultimate episode of Loki, titled The Journey into Mystery, was dropped recently. So, here we're going to go into an in-depth spoiler review and thoughts and ideas and, sort of speculations galore. So, if you haven't noticed already, if you haven't seen in the title given clearly down below and the massive spoiler sign up on screen right now, there are going to be spoilers. So if you haven't watched the latest episode yet, episode 5, save this video for later, go check it out and then come back and we can have a fun discussion. So we pick up directly where we left off at the post-credit scene last time. We find Loki in this place, like this desolate area, and he meets 3 variants of himself. Well, actually 4. He meets Kid Loki, Classic Loki, Boastful Loki, and Alligator Loki. Now, to straight off the bat, let me say, I didn't expect the alligator to be a variant of Loki. I thought for sure he was just a pet that Kid Loki was having. But as we learn further ahead, the alligator is another variant of Loki. So Loki befriends them. They take him to their lair where they are, seeking refuge. And while they're there, they see this massive cloud creature thing that's devouring everything, and the Lokis tell Hiddleston Loki, we need to get away before Alioth. So they've named this creature Alioth. We need to get away from Alioth before he devours us. So we come to know that Loki is actually in a place called the Void, which is supposed to be somewhere around the end of time, which from what we know from a certain conversation between Renslayer and Sylvie, which we'll get to in a bit, that this is the end of time. And since the final timeline hasn't been decided, because apparently the timekeepers are still, tinkering around and trying to untangle the timeline. So this creature, Alioth, lives in the void, destroying everything that gets pruned. Everything that gets pruned basically comes into the void, and then Alioth destroys it. Alioth is kind of like a watchdog so we find out that Alioth is kind of like a watchdog to, whoever it is who's pulling the strings at the TVA. So anyway, Loki, along with Classic Loki, Kid Loki, Boastful Loki, and Alligator Loki, they befriend each other. They head to the Loki's lair where they have a nice heart-to-heart. Meanwhile, Sylvie's holding Renslayer captive, and Renslayer, clearly you can see she's trying to buy time. She's trying to, delay it, and she seems to be using Miss Minutes to help her in this cause. She lets out a few things here and there, from which Sylvie gathers that Loki is in fact not dead but is in the void, and all people who get pruned end up there, and there's nothing survives the void. So while she's trying to find a way to find out more information about who it is behind the TVA, Ravonna Renslayer is just basically trying to buy time. Now, I did say that in my previous videos that it felt to me that Ravonna Renslayer, Judge Renslayer, was pretty much in on the whole thing. Not sure how I feel about that right now. I do think she's got a lot more going on than she's letting on. She knows a lot more than she's letting on, and she's not, she's deeper into this than she lets us think. She's definitely not got the best interests at heart. So what her goal is, what she hopes to achieve, I am curious to know. I personally think she's trying to take down the TVA. So I think she's kind of like after the power. She wants to, usurp the seat that the timekeepers are supposed to have. So I think mainly her goal is for power, but it could be something else. Whatever it is, we're going to get a clear picture in the final episode next week. So while Renslayer is keeping Sylvie occupied, the Minutemen arrive. Sylvie, meanwhile, she knows Renslayer is up to something. She doesn't trust her. And just as the Minutemen are about to apprehend her, she takes a leap of faith and basically prunes herself. Thinking, her logic is that if she prunes herself, she'll end up where Loki is. She can meet him up, and then they can head to the void together, where they can confront whoever it is who's pulling the strings of the TVA. So she takes a leap of faith and prunes herself. Meanwhile, back at the lair with the Lokis, they're having a kind of like a bonding moment. And what I really like about this show, it's like how they bring in various Lokis from various timelines, and each of them has seemed to have learned something about themselves, about their character, and how they use these different Lokis from the different timelines for our Loki, that is Hiddleston's Loki, to learn more about himself, to learn more about, how his nature is, what his character is, to sort of unravel what he is and what is important to him and what he needs to do. And I love the way that they do it through these other characters, even through Mobius who seems to know a lot more about Loki than himself. And through all this, Loki goes through real character building moments where he understands his true nature, his true wants, his true desires, what he really is as a person and what is important to him. So I thought this showed a really good job in building Loki's character. Like I said, I wasn't a big fan of the third episode, but I like how they are doing this. This show is really well written. I love the effects in CGI also. They've not spared any cost. It seems to be on a massive grand scale. At the same time, it gives us more on the main character. He develops, he grows, he learns more about himself, and as such, I think it's a definite win. So these Lokis are talking amongst themselves and they are revealing things about their past, and they all seem to defer to Kid Loki, and Hiddleston Loki is like, why the hell do you listen to the small kid? And that kid is like, I'm the leash, I killed Thor. So automatically anyone who's capable of killing Thor, all the other Lokis defer to. Now they are interrupted. Now Hiddleston Loki is about to leave, and just as he's about to leave, he is confronted by a whole led by President Loki. And then these guys come into the lair and they are like trying to take over from these other four guys if you include the alligator. And then they are backstabbing each other and tricking each other and betraying each other, and then a fight erupts. There's absolute chaos, and in the midst of this chaos, classic Loki, played by Richard E. Grant, classic Loki, Kid Loki, Hiddleston Loki and Alligator Loki managed to escape. Now Loki comes up with a plan. He's like, I know what I have to do. Sylvie is trying to get to the end, to find out who's behind the TVA. I want to help her. She needs me. What I think we can do is, if we are able to kill Alioth, we'll be able to get the answers we seek. So they set on out, searching for Alioth so that they can, take him down. But all the while, they don't really have much of an idea how to accomplish this. Meanwhile, Sylvie's arrived at the void. And just as she's being chased by Alioth, she gets saved by guess who? Agent Mobius. I am so happy that Owen Wilson's character, Agent Mobius, survives. He comes in this pizza delivery car and he gets her to get in, and then he drives off away from Alioth. So words do not describe how happy I am that Agent Mobius survived. So Sylvie sort of, she confides in him and tells him, I have a plan. If Alioth is the guard dog, then beyond him is who I need to get to. The way to get to them is to take down Alioth. So they hatch a plan, and on the way to get to Alioth, they come across Loki and his band of other Lokis. Hiddleston Loki and the other Lokis. So they decide, okay, Sylvie says, I can use my enchantment magic to enchant Alioth, and then I'll be able to clear a path and go to where we need to go. So they decide, okay, let's do this. Meanwhile, Renslayer is back at the TVA, and she's trying to get information from B-15, and B-15 is like, I know now that this is all just fake, that we had a life, we had a timeline, and they brought us in and forced us, brainwashed us to do work. Why are you after it, And Renslayer is kind of not telling her motives, and she's like, and then B-15 is like, you want to find who's behind the TVA. But Sylvie, she's going to definitely find it because she needs to find them. So Renslayer is like now in a bind. She doesn't know what to do, but she's like, I'll wait out my time, sort of, that sort of thing. So the Lokis decide to enchant Alioth, and just before the final battle, they have, they are like sitting down and they're just chatting. I love this moment between Mobius and classic Loki, where they sort of, they try to understand each other, and Mobius is giving his insight, and classic Loki is like, he's giving his ideas, his thoughts and stuff. I liked, how both of them, they basically discuss, and they're having this little discussion on how whether alligator Loki is really a Loki variant or whether he's just an alligator pretending to be Loki, And I was just eating up the conversation between them. Meanwhile, outside, Loki and Sylvie are having their own movement. Now I gotta be real with you. I am not sure what I think about this ship between Loki and Sylvie, okay? I do kind of get weirded out, and at the moment, I'm not on the train. I don't know how they'll go forward with it. After next week's episode, I'm not sure even if Loki will survive or if Sylvie will survive. I know it's a bit morbid, but I do think Sylvie will not survive, and I am interested to see where they are going, but right now kind of weirds me out a bit. So if you were to put me on the ship train, I would say no, I'm not on the ship train, at least not of yet. I do want to see what happens to Loki once they, take down the TVA, which I'm pretty sure is going to happen. What happens to Sylvie, what she decides to do. I'm also interested in seeing the timeline that Mobius belongs to. Is he going to get those jet skis or what? So they have their bonding moment, and then Loki manifests this blanket, and it's a really sad looking blanket. Seriously, Loki could have done, he could have done better. And, they talk, and then they get ready for the final showdown. Now, the final showdown, classic Loki and alligator Loki say, we're not coming with you, we're staying here, this is our home. That's kind of weird. It's like a desolate place. Why would you want to stay here? But anyway, they decide to stay back. Mobius heads back to the TVA. Sylvie still got the temp pad which she stole from Renslayer. So she hands that temp pad to Mobius, and Mobius says, I'm going to burn down the TVA. And he looks at Loki and he's like, thanks for giving me the spark. And they have a moment where they, have a real manly hug, And while they're hugging, Mobius is like telling, Sylvie, you're my favorite Loki, And that was like such a typical Owen Wilson thing to say. And I loved it. There's these small things that are really good. And that's why Mobius is one of my favorite characters. So Mobius heads on off to the TVA. Now Loki and Sylvie decide their plan. They need to distract Alioth while Sylvie sets up her enchantment magic. So Loki says, I will distract him. You get ready and you cast the enchantment spell. So Loki sort of takes this this blade which he sets on fire, and then runs and pulls a Jeff Goldblum sort of thing which he does in Jurassic Park with the flare, and he says here, and he tries to distract Alioth, but Alioth is not having it. He's focused on Sylvie. So just as he's about to devour Sylvie, classic Loki comes in and saves the day. He uses this massive amount of magic and, creates this huge illusion of Asgard in the void, this a full scale Asgard. And, he's like putting massive amounts of magic and energy into it. And this successfully distracts Alioth. So Alioth heads there, and straight off you can tell, classic Loki is not going to have a good ending. Is not going to make it out. But they do give him an immensely heroic, satisfying send-off. I do wish we could have had more of him. Maybe further on, we will find out that he survives. Here's hoping. But, while setting up the magic, he gets tuckered out, and Alioth, sort of gobbles him up, and that's the end of classic Loki. While they're doing this, Loki and Sylvie hold hands, and they join their magic together, and they succeed in enchanting Alioth. And it's like the parting of the Red Sea, and the smoke clears, and there's this castle sort of thing being seen, which is probably where the person, whoever is pulling the strings of the TVA, is residing. And then we end at that. Now I gotta say, last episode I was really happy because there was a post-credit scene. But this episode, I waited all the way till the end of the credits, and there was absolutely no post-credit scene. So that was a bit of a bummer. But I am interested in seeing where this, series goes. They've had an almost constant momentum, if not considering episode 3 in my opinion. I felt that was a weak episode. They are having a constant good momentum. There's great character building. The plot progression's good. They've set up such fascinating questions. I only hope that the answers to these questions are as fascinating as the questions themselves. I'm really hoping they stick the landing, because like I've always said, the Loki show was my most anticipated show. Gonna be real with you, I'm pretty sad that, next week's gonna be the last we get of Loki. So, is this going to be next week going to be the series finale or just the season's finale? I'm going to go get more seasons of Loki. I do hope so. I am hoping it sticks the landing. I'm praying for all good things. Moving ahead, I do hope they don't give Loki another fake death. I hope he survives. But I am not so sold on Sylvie's future. If they do survive, I'm interested in seeing what they do. I am interested, like I say, in seeing what Mobius does, whether he survives. I'm pretty sure he's going to have a confrontation with Ravonna Renslayer, and I want to see what Ravonna's actual goals are. Is she power hungry? Does she have some other reason? So loads of questions, waiting for the answers. One more week to go. That's all I have right now. I'd love to hear from you guys. I know there are loads of, theories saying that maybe it's Doctor Doom, or maybe it's, maybe it's Doctor Doom, or, some are even saying, oh, it's Mephisto, and some are saying it's Kang the Conqueror. So there are loads. I enjoy watching all these, speculation and theory videos and all. Oh, and by the way, there were some amazing Easter eggs in this episode. In one scene, I believe we saw the Thanos copter. For those of you who don't know, in the comics, Thanos actually had a helicopter in which he'd fly around, doing his bad stuff. So it's like, it was a thing, okay? Thanos having a helicopter. So there's an Easter egg with Thanos copter. There's an Easter egg where there's Mjolnir scene, and when they're going down into the layer, there's Mjolnir. You see Mjolnir there. Then you see a frog version of Thor in one of the Easter eggs, which I do believe was a thing in the comics at one point, where frog Thor exists. So there are loads of Easter eggs to pick out. I am definitely going to watch it yet another time to see pick out more of the Easter eggs. I'm going to watch more videos. I'm pumped for the next episode. I really hope it doesn't let me down. What about you? What did you think? You think this Loki series is strong so far? For me, it's been pretty solid. I do place it much, higher than the best episodes, except episode 3. Best episodes of WandaVision, I do place it much higher. I'd play Loki, WandaVision, and then below that, I would play Falcon and Winter Soldier. So I'm happy with what I'm getting so far. Here's hoping they stick the landing. Let me know what you think down in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear from you. And listen, while you're here, why don't you hit that beautiful red subscribe button, become a subscriber to my channel, hit the like button, and don't forget to hit the bell icon so that you're notified every time I post something new. And don't forget, you can always contact me on Twitter simply at Mercy_D, on Instagram at Mercy_SD, or check out the Funny Pajamas Facebook page simply at Funny Pajamas. And don't forget, the website's open to one and all simply at www.funny-pajamas.com, and we spell this pajamas with a Y. And don't forget, you can always email me, because I'd love to hear from you guys simply on mercy@funny-pajamas.com. And I know I do not have to say this, but I will say it for posterity's sake. Pajamas with a Y. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Hope to see you again next week. Kind of sad that Loki's ending, but I hope it ends on a strong note. Loki Wednesdays all the way. This is Mercy signing out. Bye. Have a good one, everyone.